What's happening, peoples? Welcome back, welcome back.
I'm back, got gold taxes.
If this is your first time finding my channel, the name of my channel is in the intro. Who am I? I'm Unc L. You call me Unc for short. Why? Because I'm old as hell and I'm somebody's uncle. And I'm that uncle that tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Rest in peace, Pops. Rest in peace. Today, I have another video in my series called
Say it with me now.
The Wall is Undefeated. But this particular version is my international edition. I got these clips from a channel called China Unvarnished. I'm going to link his videos in the description. Y'all go over there and check out some of his content. It gives you an insight into the cultural differences between so-called Western cultures and classical traditional Far Eastern cultures. There isn't really as much difference as you would think, at least between America and China. I'm getting ahead of myself. In a moment, we're going to get into the content. But first, thank you to all my new subs. Oh my God, I'm at like 548, something like that. When I started this, I didn't think anybody would listen. And now I got over 540 people listening to me. So I thank every last one of y'all for showing up. I appreciate y'all coming back. There's 1,000, a million, a billion spots y'all could be at on this platform. Yet y'all keep pulling up with me. So I thank every last one of y'all from the bottom of my heart. But if you would, please give me a like, please give me a share, and definitely please give me a sub. All of this gets my content seen more, gets it pushed into the algorithm. With that said, let's get into the content.
I am a 36-year-old woman, single, and now, more than ever, I realize how naive I was to let marriage opportunities slip through my fingers. When I was younger, I thought I had all the time in the world, that sooner or later I would find someone to marry. But time passed and reality hit me hard. I kept pushing relationships to the side, thinking someone better would come along, that I could wait for something perfect.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
And now, at 36, I find myself completely alone and regret hits hard.
This is a common problem that quite a few women from Western cultures have too. They believe that they can get all these accolades and certificates and degrees and buy a car and get a house, and that will make them attractive on the dating market to men. The problem is, attraction isn't symmetrical. What does that mean? That means the things that attract a woman aren't necessarily the things that would attract a man. Got to hit the do not disturb. Ugh. Yeah, so these ladies come out into the market with degrees, houses, cars, and all these, and making a lot of money. And the only thing men have to really say is, you make some lady a great husband.
We don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Jerry.
But as far as being a wife, not so much.
Say it with me now.
The wall is undefeated.
Recently, I met a 37-year-old woman with a story very similar to mine. She is a teacher at a public school in Chengdu, has an excellent education, comes from a good family, and has a stable career. On the surface, everything seems to be going well. When she started working, she had many suitors, but she always thought she could wait for something better. She believed she deserved more, that she could be picky.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
At first, this seemed like a positive thing. After all, who doesn't want to find the perfect match? But the problem started when she listened too much to her friends who kept saying, "You have plenty of time."
Single women keep women single.
Ooh. Youth lasts forever. Don't rush, the best will come. And she believed them. She thought her youth and beauty were her passports to a perfect future.
Wrong.
Like many of us, she thought there was no rush, that life was all ahead of her. But life, as we know, doesn't wait.
But ladies, there is a rush. Let me clue you in. The best time for a woman to snatch up her husband is when she's in her early 20s and that man is in his early 20s. Now you gotta have some discernment. You gotta pick the best man you can get. Excuse me. But that's the best time. You know why? Because at that time, our hormones as men they're at their strongest. You don't understand how driven we are by testosterone to find a lady to mate with, make our wives, whatever. I'm using scientific terms and clinical terms, but to mate with. So your best time to attach to a man, to where that man will attach to you for life, is when you're in your early 20s.
Yeah, that's true.
Because once we get older and our hormone levels start decreasing, that the fog clears. When we don't have as much testosterone, we can think a little bit more clear. So if you're gonna snatch a man up, you need to do it while you're young and beautiful, and when that man is more prone to fall in love with you.
That's facts, man.
Those friends who told her she had time, they are now married with children, living their lives. And her? She's past 30 and reality started hitting hard. At 28, she was already starting to worry, but still held on to hope. Her parents started pressuring her, trying to help with matchmaking events, even paying for her to attend, but she refused to hurry. She wanted something perfect, someone with the same education, financial stability, someone who earned more than she did.
A few moments later.
But time doesn't wait for anyone. By the time she reached 32, she realized what was happening. Her married friends with kids, and there she was, still alone. Her criteria started to fall, but the worst part was what she found. Society, and especially men, started seeing her as a woman to marry, but with a sense of urgency and age-related weight. She started realizing that no matter how flexible she tried to be, how much she lowered her expectations, what really mattered was her age.
I thank you.
Now, at 37, she's completely frustrated. Her parents, once so concerned, no longer help her. She feels abandoned, and she's alone. And the worst part? She starts to wonder, has my chance passed? Am I being too picky?
Kneel before your queen.
It's hard because, deep down, she knows the opportunities were there, but she lost them while waiting for something that never came.
Yeah. What this lady just described was the husband store. Have you ever heard of the husband store?
Ladies, a new store has opened up in New York City. And it is the husband store. And if you want a husband, you can go there and shop for one. Now, there are some guidelines to shopping at this store. There are 6 floors in the store. Once you visit a floor and leave that floor and go to the next floor, you can't go back down. So there's none of this like looking at all the merchandise and then deciding what you want. So a woman went to the husband store, and on the first floor the sign read, "These men have jobs." She thought, wow, a man with a job. That would be really good. She thought about it, but she thought, well, I have to see what's on the second floor. So she went to the second floor. These men have jobs and they love kids. She thought, wow, this is getting sweeter by the minute. But she had to see what was on the third floor. These men have jobs, love kids, and are extremely good looking. Well, I don't know, maybe I just better find somebody on this floor because that sounds good. But still, she felt compelled to keep looking. She went to the fourth floor where the sign read, "These men have jobs, love kids, and are drop-dead good looking, and they help with the housework." Come on, ladies, now. Listen. I mean, I tell you, I've been married to my guy 50 years. 50. And he does dishes. He does laundry. He gets the bed ready at night. And he plays all the golf he wants to. She thought, wow, jobs, loves kids, good looking, helps with the housework. Oh, mercy me, she thought I can hardly stand it. And yet she had to go see what was on the 5th floor. These men have jobs, love kids, are drop dead gorgeous. Excuse me, I'm having a little voice issue here. And they have a strong romantic streak. Come on, housework and romance. But she thought, well, it keeps getting better, so I just have to find out what is on the top floor. The top floor, the sign read, "You are visitor 31,456,012 to this floor. There are no men on this floor. This floor exists solely as proof that women are impossible to please."
Yeah, so in other words, women women have a problem with settling, right? A woman wants 100% of everything she wants, whereas a man will take 60, 50, 60, 70% of what we need or want in a woman or a mate or a wife, and we'll say, yeah, that's good enough, because nobody's perfect, and men accept the realism of this situation. But not most women. This is not all women. This is quite a few, though. Most women want what they want, and then they don't start compromising until they've reached the age where they don't have the ability to secure what they want. And not only that, they can't even get dudes that they turned down that they felt weren't good enough for them. They can't get those dudes to settle. Far too often, women play games, and when it comes to games,
I'm your huckleberry. That's just my game.
men are all for playing games because we'll play those games because we have more time on the dating market than you ladies do. We can have babies into our 80s. Ask Robert De Niro, ask Al Pacino. We are not the same, ladies. Y'all can't move like us, regardless of what that women's movement has told you. Let's continue.
我今年呀40出头，至今单身。
I am 40 years old this year and have been single all my life. Recently, I fell ill and was hospitalized. During my stay, a woman of similar age to me was also in the hospital. What left a deep impression on me was her husband's meticulous and thoughtful care for her. He was incredibly attentive and considerate, which moved me greatly and made me rethink my own life. I used to think being single wasn't a big deal, but at that moment, I changed my mind. I decided I couldn't live alone anymore. I, too, want to find someone suitable to share my life with.
But wait! There's more!
After recovering and being discharged, I shared this decision with my family and friends, even expressing my intentions through a matchmaker. I believe that once you've made up your mind, you must approach it methodically to achieve your goal. I took some time to outline my criteria for a potential partner, ensuring that my requirements were clear and specific. However, when I shared these criteria with the matchmaker, to my surprise, she fell silent for quite a while, said nothing, and even turned and walked away.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
This reaction left me puzzled. I asked myself, my demands aren't unreasonable, so why would the matchmaker react like that? To figure out the problem, I decided to lay out my thoughts in detail and seek everyone's advice. Where exactly did I go wrong? I am 40 years old and unmarried. For various reasons, I haven't gotten married all these years, which has made me a so-called leftover woman in the eyes of others.
China, if a woman is over 30 years old and she is not married, she will be called 剩女, 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 which means leftover woman.
At her age, she crossed over into geriatric pregnancy 5 years prior to this video that she made. So most men get married to have babies. She, not only is the likelihood of her having a baby, that percentage is decreased, but the quality of eggs that she has also decreased. So the babies that she could give her husband may possibly have things like Asperger's, autism. There's a couple other genetic abnormalities that can result from women waiting too long to have babies.
Oh my God!
However, my living conditions are quite good. I am currently a department manager in a large company with a stable high income. I own a car and a house, and my job is considered respectable.
We do not care.
And you'll be a great husband for some young lady. But as far as being a wife,
Say it with me now.
张牙舞爪，健身操。
the wall is undefeated.
Honestly, my requirements for my future partner shouldn't be particularly high. Here are my general criteria for a partner. First, in terms of age, I hope he is around my age, or I can accept up to 50 years old. However, he must be mature, steady, have a stable job, and a reliable income. Regarding height, I hope he is between 1.75 meters and 1.80 meters, which is within my acceptable range. Additionally, his personality must be gentle, not irritable, responsible, caring, and understanding of life, with no bad habits. As for appearance, I hope he is handsome to some extent, at least someone I can be proud to show off. I value face a lot, so my boyfriend must give me enough respect in front of relatives and friends and even pamper me. Second, regarding the betrothal gift, I specifically require him to provide 880,000 yuan as a bride price.
Yeah, I did the math on that. I did the conversion for US dollars to Chinese yuans. You want to know what 880,000 yuan is? You want to know how much this chick is asking in cash to marry her at 40 years old, past her fertility prime, 5 years into geriatric pregnancy? You want to know how much she's asking? That's right. She is asking for $127,000 to marry her. Do you know how many women a man could convince to settle down with him for $127,000? And I don't mean like women where, I mean multiple women where you go to them and tell them, hey, you're going to be a sister wife, and you tell them what they get for coming in, and they'll say, yeah, that's fine. I tell you what, they'll be far younger than a 40-year-old chick that's past her fertility prime.
Damn right.
But let's continue.
This is not because I am greedy for money, but because I believe that marriage costs more for women than men. This money is a form of financial security for me and a recognition of my worth. In other words, if a man cannot meet this requirement, it only proves that he doesn't value or recognize me enough. Besides, the betrothal gift is a traditional custom in China and a token of sincerity in marriage.
I don't give a fuck.
If he is unwilling to spend money on a woman, such a man is not qualified to talk about marriage. Third, I hope his monthly income is at least 30,000 yuan, and all his income must be managed by me. I will allocate the 30,000 yuan into 3 parts: 10,000 yuan for my personal expenses, such as skincare products, bags, clothes, or daily necessities.
Are you crazy? Or just plain stupid?
Another 10,000 yuan for household expenses, and the remaining 10,000 yuan for savings, either for emergencies or for future retirement.
I did the math on what 30,000 yuan is per month, which is what she requires her husband to make. That's right. It's over $4,100. And some of y'all might think that's not a lot, but that's a comfortable life for a single man. It really is. Okay, she wants to manage his money that he earns. And not only that, she's gonna take one third of that $4,100 and spend it on herself. Bags, makeup, personal things of that nature.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
And then she'll allocate the rest of it as she sees fit. This lady, and she's 40 years old. A man that's making this type of money can afford to get a much younger woman who is much more fertile than this 40-year-old woman.
I know, right?
Fourth, I am open to him being single, widowed, or divorced, but on the condition that he cannot have children living with us. If he has children, they cannot live with us, although I don't mind if he occasionally visits them. However, if he spends money on or buys things for his children, he must inform me in advance.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
One more thing. I cannot accept a male child. If he has children, they must be daughters for me to consider being with him. Again, I emphasize that the children absolutely cannot live with us. Fifth, I hope he has both a car and a house. The car should be worth at least 600,000 yuan, and the house must be a property in a school district. Moreover, once we get married and register, the ownership of the house and car must include my name.
Are you crazy?
This is not me being demanding but a basic guarantee in marriage. After all, once we are married, we are family, and as his wife, I am entitled to half of the assets. This is very reasonable, isn't it?
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
These are my criteria for a partner. I personally believe that my own conditions are excellent, and my demands are really not excessive. They are practical and realistic requirements. The purpose of these criteria is based on ensuring both of us have a happy life in the future. However, the matchmaker seemed troubled after hearing this and even suggested that I lower my standards.
It's just bullshit. Fuck.
This attitude left me very confused. Are my demands really that high? Or has the market run out of eligible men who meet these criteria?
So, if this man is divorced and has children, if he has male children, he can't have anything to do with those children. What does this old chick at 40 years old think she's gonna bring to that man's life to where he cut off his own flesh and blood? She is out of her mind. And then if you have female children, if you're divorced or widowed, she'll consider making those kids part of her family. But when their family, but when he marries her, she's supposed to get her name on the deed and get her name on his assets because they automatically, as husband and wife, become family. But his kids, they're not important. Especially if they're male. She don't want nothing to do with them. She might not even settle down with that dude.
What the fuck?
Her demands, as a woman that is past her fertility prime, at the age of 40, who hasn't listed a single domestic skill or nurturing skill that she brings to the table. All she's listed is the assets that she has. And I remind you, men don't care about those assets. Women care about assets like that. Men are not as concerned. We are concerned with the number of kids you can give us and how pretty you are. And I'm sorry, ladies, attraction isn't symmetrical. Women have things they look for in men. Men have things they look for in women. And it's not, and when men look for women and wives, it's not cars, assets, and things of a materialistic nature. Women have never had those things throughout all of human history until recently. Those things are not important to us when we pick wives, or not as important. Everything she's listed and said in this video is what she expects her husband to bring to the table, yet she has yet to reveal what she brings to the table outside of materialistic things. And like I said, men don't look for those things. With that said, I'm going to bring this to a close. Hey, y'all, I'm at 546, 547 subs as of this video. Please give me a like. Please give me a sub. Please give me a share. I'm trying to get to 1,000. Please help a brother out. Help me out, y'all. And I appreciate y'all pulling up with me. Toodles.